It's Bouncy here. One thing the internet loves is a good top 5 countdown, and often you will see the same recurring spooky clown images on top scariest clown articles. But what are the origins of these images? And are any of them even scary at all? Grab your party hats and maybe some pizza, and let's get to learning. Something to remember is that most clowns are painting their faces to be seen from very far away, especially in the circus so the audience can see them better. The more bold and exaggerated yet simplistic you can make the face, the better the results and storytelling will translate to the audience. It's where we get the large U-shaped eyebrows and big red smile, which is actually credited to Joseph Grimaldi in 1805. The clown nose is also said to come from Albert Fratellini, who was trying to show that his character was very drunk and he wanted to look more red in the face. So he added the red nose so that when you looked at him from far away, you could see that from the audience. So that's why in a lot of the photos I'm about to show you, they come off as very uncanny valley type of feeling to people, because you're seeing makeup that's supposed to be seen from far away up close. I understand that clowns can be a legitimate fear for people, but I hope by showing the origins and people behind these images that it can educate you about where they come from, but it can also help you see the humanity behind these clowns and strip away the silly fear that comes from the unknown. Image number 1 is a black and white photo of a clown holding up shoes. This is from the movie He Who Gets Slapped. You may be familiar with this image if you Google search scary vintage clown or creepy old clowns. The funny part about this image though is it's not just any clown character. You see, it's actually a very famous and beloved actor. This clown is Lon Chaney, and in this photo, he is the clown He from the silent film He Who Gets Slapped, which is actually a Pierrot type of story involving a love triangle and a guy who gets his ideas stolen and becomes depressed. The scariest part of the story is its humanity, and really it's a movie described as a bit of a psychological thriller, but he is not an evil clown. Lon Chaney is literally known as the man of 1,000 faces because he is an accomplished makeup artist. He had an extraordinary life. Growing up a child of 2 deaf parents, he became very skilled at American Sign Language and excelled in silent films, using movement and exaggerations as a performance tool. Chaney is most known for being Eric in Phantom of the Opera, and he also played another clown seen here in Laugh Clown Laugh, and I guarantee you that these images of him are also used in the same scary context. These images are really just a famous actor doing his job. In fact, to unscare you, here's Lon Chaney and He Who Gets Slapped before he gets fully into the clown He, and here's just regular old Lon Chaney. The second image is usually referred to as just Clown with Poodle, but this is Paul Jerome, a well-known tramp clown who was sometimes known as the Neon Clown because he had a light at the tip of his nose as well as a big glowing heart that he activated when he saw beautiful women. This was innovative at the time because it was way before LEDs and really good batteries, and he had to wear like a really heavy apparatus to pull this off. He spent over 25 years with Ringling Brothers and appeared in The Greatest Show on Earth in 1952. He is also known as Bosco the Clown for Bosco ads. When he wore tramp makeup, he is often confused sometimes for Emmett Kelly, but the way that you can tell at a quick glance is just to look for his hat that says janitor. The photos you see of Paul Jerome that often end up on these scariest photo lists is actually him in a white-faced clown makeup look that he often added teeth to and silly glasses. Remember what I was telling you about that thing about seeing the clown from far away? This is definitely the case. Sometimes, though, people confuse him also for Felix Adler, who also painted on teeth. Which brings us to our third image, Clown on the Wagon. This is Felix Adler. Felix Adler was inducted into the Clown Hall of Fame and referred to as the King of the Clowns. He often used exaggeration in his comedy, appearing very large with a very small hat, famously using 2 huge beach balls to make a big butt. He was actually the second clown in history to appear on television and was well known for adding a rhinestone in his nose. Felix actually had a wife that was also a clown, and they ran a circus together and lived a clown dream. When I see Felix knowing what I know about him, I don't feel scared. He actually loved to raise pigs and trained animals, and he was a good person who liked to make people laugh. Unfortunately, a lot of Felix's images are used to scare people in spite of how amazing he and his wife were at clowning and all they did for the art form. Here is Felix out of clown. The fourth image is just known as Clown with Cigarette, but is actually a man named Jimmy Armstrong, who booked at the circus under the name The Dwarf Clown. He was also billed as Little Man on circus flyers that were handed out in a tent show in New Jersey, which is where he met the photographer Bruce Davidson, who was an up-and-coming photographer who was fascinated by the lives behind the people in the circus. And at the agency that he was working for, he began to chronicle the lives of the people in the circus as it was unfortunately dying. And through this journey, he became critical of the circus as he learned how dark it could truly be. These images humanized Jimmy at a time when the world did not. Bruce says that when he took the images of Jimmy in the top hat with his cigarette, there was an understanding that it wasn't a photo being taken for his makeup or that he was a clown or to show him as an other, but it was to show that he was someone deep with inner thoughts and he was much more than just a clown or a sideshow. Jimmy is described as a very quiet man who always looked somber, and Bruce tried his best to portray this. He also mentioned that not only did he capture Jimmy's life as a clown and deep thinking, but even Jimmy agreed that he captured the way that he was othered by being a little person. The image of him called The Dwarf and the Clyde Beatty Circus 1958 is on display currently at the Young Museum in Golden Gate Park, San Francisco. But honestly, there are so many other photos of Jimmy not taken by this photographer that I found that I feel capture another side of him, a side where he's clowning with friends and family and making a living as a clown. Despite the darkness of the circus, these are also photos that can humanize him. In fact, here is Jimmy out of clown. I love seeing these images of these so-called scary clowns as just regular people. Image number 5, the Krinkles commercial. If there's ever an infamous scary clown photo and video, it has to be the images and video of Krinkles the Clown. This commercial shows a clown advertising Sugar Rice Krinkles cereal in 1956. Unfortunately, due to the black and white colors, we can't see how he's really supposed to look, so here he is with some of the colors edited as the mascot appears on the box. The video of this commercial with the most views describes this as if John Wayne Gacy made a commercial, which couldn't be farther from the truth. You see, most people believe this clown is none other than Bert Lahr, the actor who played the Cowardly Lion. Not only did the voice and facial features and even age match up, Bert was doing commercials for other companies at this time and was taking this kind of work.
Take it from Krinkles, that's me.
So yeah, it's widely believed that Krinkles is actually the Cowardly Lion. But you want to know what I think is worse than just this supposedly scary cereal clown? The other mascot for Sugar Krinkles cereal, Sohai, who was a caricature of a young Chinese boy. And why did Sugar Rice Krinkles cereal decide to make a young Asian boy their mascot? Because it had rice in the name. And I'm gonna guess that's a big reason why there's no longer Sugar Rice Krinkles since 1969. If anything, I actually think this is worse than just some silly clown doing his job.
Post-rice crinkles. So I said. Rice that is crinkly and rickshaw in box.
So, there you have it, folks. A quick breakdown of some images you might come across if you go looking for scary clown stuff or vintage scary clowns or old scary clown photos. I hope you learned a little bit today. Which picture and origin was your favorite? Bye!